Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is the Stand With Trans Kids book tag created by Leo Bancroft. I was tagged by Kara of Wild Book Garden. Alright, the first prompt is to tag other people who might want to do this tag. I forgot to do my eyebrows. Oh well, their pastelness goes with the pastel colors, I guess. So I tag Capri's Book Island, Teresa from Sweet Tea Reads, Alana from The Awkward Book Nerd, and Christine from An Autistic Reader. No pressure, and if anybody else wants to do this tag, I tag you too. Number 2, what is a book on your TBR that has trans rip of some kind or is a nonfiction about trans people? And so I have 2. One I'm currently reading, which is Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin, and this one is post-apocalyptic, and it's a response to gender plague books written by a trans woman, so that should be really interesting, and our main characters are trans. I've already read a few pages of it, and then I just got from the library A Lady for a Duke, which I'm very excited for because I've seen lots of positive reviews for this one, including from Cal from Retrieving Books. Number 3, what is your favorite book, show, or movie that has trans characters? And I picked Wild Beauty by Anne Marie McLemore. Most of Anne Marie McLemore's books have at least one trans character. I really enjoy their writing, and this one is particularly witchy and has a lot of plant magic in it, which are some of my favorite things, so that's why it's my favorite. I really love the descriptions of all the flowers that are grown by these magical girls and how cute their crush is on this genderqueer young person that they've kind of grown up with. Anne Marie McLemore's books also tend to be very heartfelt and address things like grief and prejudice, and I really like how those heavy topics are dealt with in a way that doesn't make me feel sad. Number 4, everyone's on a journey and everybody's journeys look different and groups are not a monolith. So what is a book about a journey? And for this one, instead of a physical journey, I decided to go more with the abstract version of the prompt and go with a emotional self-discovery journey. And Sasha Masha is about that. It is about a young person who's figuring out their gender identity and has been using he him and is starting to use she her but isn't really sure, and is finding lots of queer friends and mentors and discovering that side of themselves. And so you get to watch this journey and have some flashbacks to earlier childhood and how the journey was starting back then. And it's a fairly sweet story. It's very slice of life, and I liked it quite a bit. Number 5, what is a book that taught you something, either about yourself or about the world around you? I learned a lot from I Am Malala, Malala's memoir. It was like super informative, and I learned a lot about the area where she grew up and the politics and the religion of that area and how people got radicalized there and how people fought for education there, even before her and around her, and how she fought for it. That was really interesting. And I also learned from Colonize This recently, which is a collection of essays by people of color, mostly marginalized genders, and that was really good too. There are a number of trans people's perspectives, some adopted people's perspectives, immigrant perspectives, and yeah, it informed me on things and reinforced other things that I had heard before. Number 6, what is a way that you center yourself or find joy in these dark times? For me, I have found that writing really helps. Right now I'm writing about my own life and kind of processing a lot of my emotions about things that went on when I was a kid, and like processing how I came to find out that I'm autistic and asexual. I should probably put that in there somewhere. And also reading and talking about books. There's the escapism in the books, but then I found while I was away camping this last week, and needed, I was feeling really badly, but I talked about books into my camera for a little bit and felt a lot better after that. So engaging with my special interest really helps to ground myself and feel real and happy and purposeful. Number 7, what is music that makes you feel good in your body? And there are a lot. I love music. I especially love storytelling music. So like a lot of, for example, Billy Joel's music tells stories, like Uptown Girl and Piano Man kind of sets a scene with characters and sometimes has a progression of the story. I especially like music from musicals or musical movies, such as a lot of Disney movies. So I really like Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, Evermore from Beauty and the Beast, and I'm Gonna Build Me a Wall from Shrek the Musical. Those all make me feel really good and make me feel like I'm feeling emotions rather than intellectualizing them, and kind of make me feel like I'm feeling, it makes it safe because I'm kind of feeling a character's emotions, but at the same time it gives me the chance to explore those emotions. And also most of those have at least some sections that are in my vocal range, so they feel good to sing too physically. And several of them also I can imagine my characters in my head that I've made up singing, and so that is really fun too. Number 8, who are 3 mentors or heroes of yours? And this was a really hard one. Like maybe making me dig deep here. One person would be Miss Schilling, who was my teacher when I was a kid. Through high school, I went to a homeschool co-op, so we had the same teachers for several different subjects from grade school up through high school, and she was especially an art teacher, but she also did history and language arts. Recognized that I had social anxiety, though we didn't know the name of it at the time, and would like speak for me sometimes. Like when we had that horrible go around the room and introduce yourself thing, she would stand behind me and I would whisper to her what to say, and just things like that. She was super supportive of my whole childhood, and that helped a lot because the social anxiety and the getting rejected because of autistic traits thing was really big. And she's also an artist, and the things she said about art encouraged me, and I still hold on to those things to this day and how valuable art is. And I clean my brushes the way she taught me to clean my brushes when I was in grade school. Total accepting of people who are different really made a difference to me in how I view myself and other people. And then for people I don't know personally, there's Jessica Kellgren-Fozard, who is a YouTuber and disability activist and also a queer activist. She inspires me to dress how I want and to not feel silly for dressing up in very feminine clothes or very frilly and illogical clothes just because it makes me happy. I don't have to have an event to go to dress like that, because she dresses in vintage fashion, very and fairly dressed up fashion every day. And she also encourages me about being disabled because she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I'm pretty sure I also have. She has some other things that I don't have, and I have some things that she doesn't have, but chronic fatigue and chronic pain are both things we have in common. So the way that she is kind to herself about not having to be productive all the time because her body needs to rest really means a lot to me as well, and has taught me to kind of do that. And then I think I'll pick a fictional person who is a hero of mine, Eowyn. Particularly the scene where she stands in front of Theoden. I think that was the first time I had ever seen a representation of And for a long time, the only representation, because I saw that when I was like 8 years old, but for a long time, it was the only time I ever saw a woman standing in front of a man to protect him. And that was really inspiring for me. 9, who are trans advocates, or just trans people existing publicly, who like exist on social media and that I believe that you should follow. Kara already mentioned Bear, but I just want to mention Bear again because they are such a sweet person and I get a lot of good book recs from them. And then Anna G, who's an autistic person and who is mostly on Twitter now. They have created a video game. They're very into RPGs and stuff, and have done like their own sea shanties and things. So a very fun person. And then Cal from Treven Books, who I talked a little about earlier. I really like a lot of his reviews. They're like really in depth, and also he does a lot of negative reviews in a really funny way. So like I really enjoy both the positive and the negative reviews. That Anna Marie, who's on TikTok, I've seen some really good content from. And then Millie, whose username is genderless potato, and they have a variety of content that's mostly just daily living stuff, very standard TikTok content. If you spend a lot of time on TikTok, there's a lot of initial thoughts and like reactions to things, but also just daily, this is what my life is like and the thoughts I'm having today type stuff. Number 10 is, this is only one hand, so that's a 5. It's number 10. Nonprofit organizations that you want to promote that help trans youth. I picked the Odyssey Youth Movement because I looked up ones that are local to my area, and this serves the inland Northwest, which is where I live. I think it probably also means parts of Idaho and Eastern Oregon. This area kind of needs it. It's very different from Western Oregon and Washington. So we definitely need, and this is youth-led, adult-supported, and they like organize a whole bunch of different ways to help LGBTQ plus youth, although the plus part isn't in their mission statement. But at least it's better than the other one I looked up where they said, they spelled out what all the letters meant and then they got to questioning and then said, and allies, which I think is what they think the A stands for. So I didn't pick that one. I'll put their specific donation page, and on their donation page it talked about the various things they use the money to provide for. Obviously no one is obligated to donate in order to do this tag, but you can if you want, and it's good to just put the names of these organizations in front of other people in case they want to support. Because you never know who could be in watching your video. Could be a person with money. And yeah, this was a fun tag. I also had a lot of fun doing my makeup, as you can probably tell. And yeah, I think I'm gonna also film some TikTok videos so as not to waste the makeup. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!